India is on the brink of winning gold after beating the United States to 0.5 to 1.5 in round 10 of the 45th FIDE Chess Olympiad. Just as in Chennai, Gukesh Dommaraju defeated Fabiano Caruana while Arjun Erigaisi took down Leinier Dominguez. Let's take a look at these two games. On the board, we have World Championship challenger Gukesh, as he's taking on former World Championship challenger Fabiano Caruana. So far, it had been a pretty dynamic game, with Fabiano finding all the right moves to keep the position in balance. Here, he had to find another precise one in order to keep equality. With the last move, Gukesh played queen to d4, threatening to win the pawn on d2. Here, Black had to decide whether he should protect the d2 pawn or Blue for counterplay. The problem is that queen c2 doesn't actually save the pawn. White would still pick it up on the next move after rook d1 and rook d2 come. That's why Black had to go for counterplay and attack the e4 pawn. The correct move in the position was knight to g6, opening up the way for the rook on the ea. However, some complications arise after the move bishop f5, defending the pawn on e4 and creating a super annoying pen for the g6 knight. Game could have continued with queen c2, threatening a discovered attack and freeing the pawn. King h3. And here Black had to find the only move to stay in the game. He had to go for rook f8, hitting the bishop. Seemingly, this loses material after bishop takes g6, king g6, with the black rook hanging. But White simply cannot take it. In the case of rook takes f8, d1 queen would win the game for Black. And if queen d6, Black's king is fully safe after rook f6. The game would likely end in a draw in a couple moves. However, this is pretty difficult to assess, and especially with the move rook f8 appearing in the line. That's why Fabiano went for another attack on the pawn, hitting the bishop at the same time with queen to g6. Turns out though that after rook f4, White is simply much better because he wins the d2 pawn for free. The game continued with queen g5, setting up a trap. In case of queen d2, there would be knight g6, hitting the rook, and taking advantage of the pen. But Gukesh found another solution. He played the move h4. H4 here, getting rid of the queen first, and only then taking on d2. So the game continued with queen g6, queen takes d2, rook b8, and queen d7. With the last move, Gukesh is exploiting the weakness of the light squares, as he's trying to push the knight away, so that he can play the move bishop takes f5. Well, Black simply cannot afford losing the queen, so he had the bishop on his move, playing the move h5. Game continued with bishop e6, rook b6, continuing the attack on the bishop, and bishop f7. Fabiano played the move queen d6, and after all the exchanges, he found himself 2 pawns down in an endgame. The game didn't last much longer, and only after a couple moves, Fabiano resigned to Gukesh. This one opened up the result for India, and gave him the lead in such an important match. We're going to take a look at how Erigaisi sealed the deal for Team India. Here we are with the first critical moment of the Arjun Erigaisi versus Leinier Dominguez game. So far, things have been going pretty smoothly for Erigaisi, as he has managed to get all the important squares under control, and he is about to win the c6 pawn. Here, the young Indian superstar played the move knight to b6, hoping to ease his transition into a winning endgame. The point is that after rook a b8, knight takes d7, takes, and queen takes c6, the resulting endgame would be completely winning for white. Seeing all of that, Dominguez decided to try something else, and he offered an exchange for Erigaisi to take. He played the move c5. The game saw a knight takes a8, rook takes a8, and knight to b5. Fast forward a couple of moves, we got the next critical position of the game right here. It appears that Black has consolidated the position with his central pawns safely defended. There are no open files for the white rooks, and maybe Black will still be in the game. However, Erigaisi found a clever way to open up files for his rooks. He played the move e4, taking advantage of some tactics. The problem with d4, for example, would be that after rook takes d4, Black cannot recapture because of the pin. Another move that doesn't work is d takes e4, because white would be able to win a piece after rook d6. That's why Leinier Dominguez decided to go for knight e4, giving up his own d-pawn in exchange. So Erigaisi just took it. The next couple of moves represented some maneuvering, and we got to another critical position all the way right here. Zaha is skipping a couple moves, but this is the important moment. In this position, white only needs to trade queens to go into a safe endgame where there would be no trouble converting to a full point. That's why Erigaisi played the move h4, trying to weaken the black king and go for such a transition. The game continued with g takes h4, queen e4 takes on h4, and queen g3, finally transposing into a trivially winning position. The game ended quickly, as here the black pawns are simply too weak, so Arjun won them all. So here in this position, Dominguez finally resigned, giving up the game and also making sure that India finally wins the Olympiad. Once again, congratulations to the Indian team. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe.